a show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on JTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, the Wellness Center, Medical and Behavioral Health Clinics, HOV Medical, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light Bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports. This is the big story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition. Today we want to turn our attention to an issue that affects us all. While it speaks more to the woman's anatomy, it affects us all in some way, and we want to talk a bit about cervical cancer. Some say cervical, some say cervical. Dr. Arliene T. Penn, a champion in this cause for quite a while now, and continuing. You've made a promise not to give up on this journey, and you are keeping to that word. I want to welcome you to the big story for the beginning of the year. I wish you every success in everything that you endeavor to do this year.
Thank you, Kathy, for having me, because, of course, cervical cancer awareness, it's a big story.
It is a big story.
A big story.
When you say the big story,
yeah, we mean the
big story.
Yeah.
And you took my mind right back to our dear friend who we would have just lost, former legislator Carvin Malone, to his family, friends, loved ones, to all of us here in the territory. Our heartfelt condolences. Whenever he sees me and greets, he said the big story, just like that. Just like that.
Yeah, I'm going to miss him as well, because he was one of my biggest cheerleaders on this trip as Mrs. British Virgin Islands. And as a matter of fact, when you call him, DC, how do you do? And you got to keep pushing, keep moving.
That's the man.
And I remember I sent him the WhatsApp just a week, and I said to him, please help me to share this information, to get women to get their pap smears done for free. And he said, consider it done.
All right, you got you know the man.
Yes, I've worked with him for quite a while.
Definitely, Miss, you give us a shock, but keep watching over us from wherever you are, right? And we also want to send condolences to the family and friends of Grace Flax Walters,
and also Mr. Romney as well. He was another one who would have pushed me a lot with the, making sure women get their pap smears done. And he said, I really like what you're doing. He used to call me Angela White, right? Always call me Angela White, never call me by name. Because, working at Zira, there was this commercial that I used to do, and I was the Angela White in that. And then you have Grace Flax Waters, who was one of the pushers behind Glamour Girl. Wherever Glamour Girl was singing, she was pushing and encouraging Glamour Girl to sing and to sing. So I would really, really miss all of them, because they have left a footprint in my life. Yeah.
All of us
and they've
have
made
been
their
impacted
impact,
in some way.
and they have made their mark.
They have.
Yes, they've made
one way
mark.
or the other. They have. I remember Grace. I always admire how she carries herself
very gracefully. Yeah, very gracefully.
Yeah. All right, so we want to make sure that while we're here and the universe has given us that chance to be alive, we want to make sure that we live it the best we can in good health.
Yes.
Doing so leads the conversation of no.
Fix, live, win. Yeah, no, fix, live, win. I've said it from day one. Know what's happening to you, fix it so you can live, and then you can win. Win means that you celebrate, because you have something to celebrate about in the end. So I'm very passionate about my Celebrating Life series. No, fix, live, win.
And you would have done a campaign before where you collaborated through different organizations,
Yes.
one of them being the WIN BVI
Yes.
organization, through which you went on that platform and left that indelible mark on the international stage. All part of the journey.
All part of the journey.
Yeah.
All part of the journey, because it all started with just seeing some statistics. And, you know, sometimes you think that it's just you alone. So for 17 years, I'm in this cocoon thinking, oh, it's me alone, because you're hearing about all different types of cancers. So you're not thinking about, you know, this is a big thing, until one day, this thing just pops up in front of my face that, hey, did you know that so many 600,000 women are diagnosed globally? Did you know that 350,000 of those women die globally, annually? And I'm like, and I'm alive? But even when I saw the statistics, I still didn't want to say anything. As a matter of fact, the first time I said anything was at a transformation. It was a transformation interview I did with Dr. Mike at the Cane Garden Bay Baptist Church, right?
Yeah. It was there?
Yeah, and then the second time I was at the BVI Cancer Society, because what that did, it kind of pushed me to open my mouth and to talk about it even more. You know, because I was so fearful of what people would say and what people would think, and when you walk down the street, how they would look at you. And so these were some concerns because, you know, stigma.
It's a major thing.
Of course, it's a major thing. Because you want to walk with your head high and not with your head held down. But for me, you know, God has saved me.
And through you, He's saving so many others because you have made that decision. I remember at the BVI Cancer Society,
Yes.
I'm on the camera, and I probably the camera must have gone its own direction, and a couple of times because I wasn't paying attention no more to the camera.
Yeah.
It's really dark. Well, at the time you weren't dark. Arliene, this is it, and you've been sitting on this, and you have this gift of delivery. And you was just like, come on. And we even became better friends even then.
Yeah. I remember I actually wore the black and white dress not too long ago after a long time.
Okay.
Remember that black and white dress? Yeah, wore that black, yeah.
I had to give mine away because it couldn't fit no more.
It couldn't fit no more. Well, mine can still fit, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
So we're here now.
Yes.
We're here now. What are we doing? Tell me about this journey going on.
Right now, you know, sometimes when you think you are finished, you're only beginning. You're only starting, right? Because I started this journey as even Mrs. British Virgin Islands for 1 year. For 1 year. Mrs. British Virgin Islands 2022. And I was asked to stay on as Mrs. British Virgin Islands 2023, of which I'm very much honored to do so, because again, at that point, we recognize that the story isn't finished.
Okay.
There's more to go. There are things that you have to do, because you perhaps may not have touched as many lives just yet. In that 1 year. In that 1 year. So I'm pleased that I've been able to be Mrs. British Virgin Islands for two years. As a matter of fact, I'm giving up the crown.
No, you're giving it up.
Well, okay, I'm passing the baton. I'm passing the crown.
Yes.
Passing the crown, but we usually would say you're giving up the crown.
Yeah.
You're passing the crown.
To a different level of the journey that you're on.
Yes, and the next ambassador who will be coming, you know, it is for her to make her mark in whatever her platform is. But I'm focused now on just making sure that women, we get our pap smears done. This would be the third, as a matter of fact, the third.
Oh, yes.
This is the third initiative under the Celebrating Life series when it comes to making sure women get their pap smears done. Wow. The first, it was with Eureka. The second was with Penn Medical. And now, this one, we have 4. We have the...
It's 4?
Yes, we have 4 clinics participating. We have the Wellness Center.
Oh, yes.
We have Eureka. We have Pick Smith, and we have the, did I say the Wellness Center?
Yes, you said
the Wellness Center, BNF Medical Complex. BNF, okay, right? Yes. Because BNF Medical Complex is actually, they had a similar initiative when I was diagnosed.
Ah, so your story came from having the opportunity to have a free
pap smear. It was Dr. Natalie Bruley. Never forget her, because actually she was my gynecologist, and she was very much a significant part of my life, you know, with my two sons, because she was the doctor who would have seen me through. And then when I went to deliver, I think that's where we severed, and then I come back, and the second child comes, and then you go back to Dr. Bruley and so forth. And it was for women who couldn't afford, just couldn't afford. It was around Mother's Day. So I am so happy that I am able to live, to share that experience with others, because it helped me. And if something has helped you, it's okay to pay it forward. That's what I see it as, paying it forward. Because I remember when I sat in her office, the first thing she said to me, okay. She said, one day you will tell the story, and one day you'll be able to help someone else. Those are her exact words. But Dr. Pickering now, for Pick Smith, Dr. Pickering was the reinforcer. Kedrick Pickering, who would have said to me, because after I saw Dr. Bruley, I went to 4 other doctors, because I didn't want to believe what the results were saying. Like, and Dr. Pickering, and Dr. Pickering was, listen to me, you need to either choose what you're going to do. He said, because it's either you stay and it kill you, or you go and get yourself sorted out. And I didn't know what kind of doctor they sent me to, because he told me plain out. He looked at the report and said, I'm not going to examine you. You need to do what you need to do to live. And if you're not going to live for you, at least live for your boys. And I was very young at the time. I'm in my 20s. What I know about cervical cancer? What do I know? That's what I'm saying, because these are not things that are in my mind. You know, so I'm so happy to have on board these clinics. And what was amazing for me, that it's supported by Unite BVI, who came forward and said, you know, we want to partner with you on this, because we believe in what you are actually doing. So to now see Unite BVI and WIN Foundation having a collaboration for the first time, because even having a discussion with them, you know, I was able to tell them and talk to them and give them information about who the WIN BVI organization is about, so that they can start spark a long-term relationship with the organization, because it's about how do we work and save our communities so that people can live healthy, prosperous, and wonderful lives, so that we can be productive citizens in our country, in our economy. That's what we want to do, you know, so live our best lives. Yes, I just want women to just get up and go and get your pap smears done. I don't care what your nationality is.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care your color, your race, I don't care. One of the things I've learned, cancer doesn't discriminate. We discriminate.
We tend to.
We discriminate.
When it's unnecessary.
But cervical cancer
does not.
Cancer. No disease discriminates, right? So I just want to make sure that I am doing my part. And there's a group as well that's Girl Up. A Girl Up group.
I'm loving the empowerment of these young women.
Wonderful group of young women who just care about making a difference in their communities. I'm also happy to partner with them as well. They're like the engine that's kind of like little cheerleaders.
And they're so positive. When you get an opportunity to meet these young girls, you're seeing that, you know what, while we think that, you know, enough is not being done to empower young women, when you see those young women, you become a little more comfortable that, you know, we are making impacts, and there is a future for the generation to come.
They see you, they ask you questions, you know. So I am indeed pleased, because, you know, when I started this journey, you know, the journey started first with God.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, you know, God bringing me through a process. But it was a very trying process because at the age of 20 something, to learn that you're going to lose your womb, it's not an easy thing, you know. It's not an easy thing. So I don't want others to go through that.
If we could prevent it, let's get it done.
Yeah, let's do what we need to do.
You know,
to
and
to get it
sometimes
done.
people, there's people, and I know it's fear. They would say, something got carry me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
while you don't know, you want to, while you're here, although you know something will carry you, you want to do what it takes to make sure that you live because the pain of living with cancer,
it's not easy, you know.
Conditions not
Kathy,
easy.
You know what it's like too. Every week, every other week, you have to do a pap smear every week or every other week or every, you know, I keep checking and checking and checking and checking and checking. And then you have to go through these big machines.
I have a young daughter who went through some sort of
it's not easy.
Not easy.
It can be very
intrusive
as well.
Yes.
Very traumatic, and if you can prevent it,
let's do it.
Let's do what we need to do to prevent.
So this campaign, how are we doing it? How are we going through? What are the steps? What are the limits, if there is any? Is there any cost? Well, I know there's no cost.
There's no cost. That's the first thing you need to do. There's no cost. We're just asking persons to call and to sign up. 440-4122. That's the number we want them to call.
Say it again.
440-4122. And you will get someone on the end of the line who is a WIN BVI member or advocate who will pick up the phone. And I had an opportunity to be on the other side of the call. And I can say for me, it was an amazing experience. And when the ladies called and they're giving their information, because you have to give your information, because what we ask for, we want to know your name, we want to know your number, your email address, your NHI number, because it helps us to make sure that we're logging the information clearly so that once it goes out now to the different clinics, they can access you very quickly and have all that information at their fingertips, so that when you get to your scheduled appointment, because they will be calling you for the scheduled appointment, which would be the doctor's office. We want to make sure that there's a seamless process, and you're getting free consultation as well in the process. So we just want to make sure that, you know, the women call, and I've been able to have discussions with them, because we're also asking you, when was your last pap smear? Because all of that information is very important. And what I've recognized on the other line, men were calling as well.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the men were calling on behalf of their wives.
Okay.
Or behalf of their significant other. I want to sign up. You know, she's at work right now, so she has asked me to sign up on her behalf, or men call to find out, well, tell me what is this about, you know, because some of them are learning about, you know, for the first time in terms of with pap smears, and it says a lot in terms of we need to make sure that we are communicating with our men to make sure that they too understand the importance of just a woman having her pap smear, especially if she's sexually active. And then when I say that, well, I thank you for calling, I'm Dr. Arliene T. Penn, and they were, what? You know, like,
you got on the yourself on the end.
Yeah, you know, it was a very good, very good experience. It's a lot of work because you're getting a lot of calls, but for me, it's not enough calls. I want more calls.
Let the
More,
calls
more, more.
and it's something
And I
that you
would
said
tell
just
them,
now.
yes.
A lot of it's an opportunity for us women to let our significant other, the male companion, know a
Yes.
little bit about it. Some women don't even know
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this. A lot
So,
of women do not
so that's
know.
why I'm doing what I am doing to make sure that women become aware, because it's so important that we learn and understand what is happening to us, because sometimes because it's not happening to us, we say it's not my business. It's not my business. But it doesn't matter. Whenever you hear that someone passed as a result of something, you need to start researching.
Yep.
Because none of us are exempted from anything, because we don't know. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know what life holds. The thing about it, I can put on makeup. I can put on this nice outfit. My looks nice, right?
Yeah,
you love my
does,
outfit?
yeah,
It does,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah,
This is my nice outfit from Ume Fashions.
Okay.
Yeah. You can put on all of this. I can look in the mirror and I can see myself.
Looking beautiful
And I can
dandy.
turn on the side and then turn to the next side,
looking
and I can turn
dandy.
to the back, and I can see whether or not if there's a tear somewhere, or there's a thread that's hanging,
somewhere.
and I can fix that. But on the inside,
Can't see it.
I can't see a lick.
Can't see
I
it.
can't see anything. And that's why we go to the doctors to get our annual checkups. You get your annual checkups, and I would encourage people, you get your annual checkups. You know, I mean, sometimes things happen within the annual checkups. You know, after you do your annual checkup, something may, but at least you're doing your annual checkups, because there's something about the blood. Because when you know, what you would find is that doctors would pull your blood, because in your blood there's a story.
Yes.
It
yes.
tells the story of your
that's
life.
Life. That's life. That's
Yeah.
what gives us the life in
There's
us.
power in the blood.
In every context.
There's power in the blood. So there's a lot of things, a lot of information that's in the blood. And I think that we need to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to educate ourselves about all the different diseases or all the different deficiencies or abnormalities that exist in life, so that we cannot, because we shouldn't be living willful. Because remember you said something earlier about, you know, it's going to kill me anyway. No, that's a willful. We shouldn't live willfully. We need to live in a way in which we are taking a vested interest and intentionally living to live a good life for the little time that we have on this earth, because it's not promised to us, because we're just passing through.
We're just passing through.
It's
a fearful thing. It's very I can't even explain it, but you know.
But as long as we understand that we are just passing through, it means that whatever little time that God has given you on this earth to do what you need to do, don't haste your death. Don't die prematurely.
Don't haste your death. Don't die.
Yeah, because
that would be the headline.
Yeah, because don't haste your death. Don't die prematurely. Take the necessary steps that you need to take in order to help you to become a better you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. In this space, I really want to ask you to remind our audience the number they can call, the clinics that these pap smears are going to be done.
Okay.
And remind us too that it's for free.
Yeah, I'm going to look down, because there's some critical information that I forgot, and everyone would have seen the poster. Well, I hope that everyone has seen the poster, and if you haven't, what I've been telling persons is that once you get it, share it with someone else, because I want all the women. If you haven't gotten your pap smear done, let me tell you what it is. So there's free screening. And the registration ends on the 31st of January.
Okay. Oh, and January is cervical cancer awareness
January
month.
is cervical cancer
awareness month. Yes.
Awareness month, right? So I want to make sure that, you know, I think that this is a good time. This is a good time for us to get persons registered within this month, and then February, that's when all of the pap tests will be scheduled, because February, it's the love month.
Okay.
It's your self-love, love your body, love yourself month.
Yes,
so that's why we sort of cater it that way.
Okay.
Ages between 18 to 29, if that's your age category, and you are sexually active and never had a pap test, we want to to see you.
Okay.
We want you to register to sign up, right?
Yeah.
And if your age is 18 to 65, sexually active and had no pap smear within 3 years, we want to see you. We want you to call and to register.
Awesome.
The next thing, it's for us to be proactive, just so that everyone knows where the screenings are. It's Eureka Medical Clinic, the Pick Smith Medical Services, the Wellness Center Clinics, and the BVI. Actually, the BNF medical complex. So we just want to make sure that persons, you get your pap smears done, because I'm saying cervical cancer, that's enough. I say it's enough. It's enough. And once registered, the appointment will be scheduled during the love month of February, and you will also receive a free doctor's consultation at your appointment. And the first 200 women, you get the free No Fix Live Win Celebrating Life series signature teas. Where's yours? Yeah. We'll work on that. We will work on that. It's overdue, right? Yes, I probably need to put No Fix Live Win Big Story. And I just want to thank the BVI Cancer Society for just being on this journey with me. And I'll say why, because BVI Cancer Society, when I decided first to be a part of this, I had to go before the board at the BVI Cancer Society to pitch my platform so that they would adopt me and I could adopt them, so that I can speak as it relates to cervical cancer awareness. And I must say, Gloria has been a cheerleader behind of me in all of this. I want to thank the WIN BVI, of course, the team, for just putting all of this together and for being behind of me with a number of these initiatives, because I would have had some fundraisers and then I have this, and it's not easy to coordinate. So I thank Alicia Green, who's the director, and the rest of the team for doing their part. I want to also thank Unite BVI for also powering all of this, and for Gollop for doing their part as well. I also want to thank my husband, Mr. William Penn, because when I decided to open my mouth, I wanted his blessings. That I said, babes, this is what I want to do, and I want to make sure that you don't feel any way embarrassed, or because I don't want to do anything to embarrass my family, because I believe that I'm a representation of him and he's a representation of me. And he said to me, you do what you need to do, because he said, me, I'm keeping out of God business.
All right.
Those were his those were his words to me. And he has been the cheerleader from, when I'm dressing as Mrs. British Virgin Islands. He's there, you need to take off those earrings and maybe a different one, and so people might see him in his uniform, but when it comes to putting that extra touch, he's very, very good at that. And I tell you, and I want to also thank my sons as well, because they were there with me from the beginning, but they were so young at the time. They knew mommy had to go away to get treated, but they knew it was cancer, but they didn't know what type of cancer it was, because I didn't want to tell them, little boys, they didn't know. And I just thank them for not feeling embarrassed that their mother came out and she's speaking about the vagina, because that's something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. But you know what? If it's going to save your life, let me talk about the importance of protecting our reproductive system. Because cervical cancer affects you tremendously, mentally, emotionally, physically,
spiritually.
Listen, everything. So I'm saying to all women, cervical cancer, that's enough. Let us know, fix, live, and win. Big story.
Big story.
Big story. Big story.
On that note, we want to say thank you so much for paying such keen attention. If you would have registered, or you may know someone who may not have. You're in group chats, you have friends. Encourage women. Men, encourage women. And you men too. There are other types of cancers that you have to be concerned about. So let's all collectively do what's necessary to take care of this beautiful temple that life has blessed us with.
This
Dr.
big
Arliene
story.
Temple, yes.
My temple is my big story.
Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for joining us for this edition of The Big Story.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.